Listen and tell me all your thoughts on God, 'cause I'd really like to meet her and ask her why we're who we are. And tell me all your thoughts on God, 'cause I'm on my way to see her. So tell me, am I very far? Am I very far now? Am I very far now?
Hey everybody, okay, so I'm going to try and do this one more time without rambling so much. So, I hope everybody had a great Samhain. Mine was awesome, pretty eventful. Tuesday we went down to my mom's for the Sheriff's Bash, that's every year. And then Thursday, not Thursday, but Halloween on Saturday, we actually went to Josh's mom's for his niece's Halloween party that we helped decorate for and everything else. It was pretty great. But besides all that, and I hope everybody had fun, and I really love Samhain and all that, but, oh my gosh, the full moon and Samhain and whatever the hell else it was really tripped out my dream Tuesday night. So, first of all, Monday night going into Tuesday, I had a really bad nightmare that my mom died of a heart attack. Now, my grandmother on my mom's side, her mom actually died unexpectedly of a heart attack. So I pretty much freaked the hell out. And Tuesday, I was glad that I was spending that day with her and could be around her. And I told her, I said, please go to the doctor, get checked, just, to make me feel better. Now, my mom actually has pretty good heart history, heart health, if you will, cardiac health. She's actually taken precautions, though, since the heart issues do run in the family for any issues that may pop up later. But still, that dream was so vivid and so scary, I needed the backup comfort of her going to her doctor friend or a doctor or something, just to get checked out, make sure everything was okay. But the dream I wanted to discuss with you guys that I actually had Tuesday night, which I think the moon was at its fullest Tuesday. It's actually pretty crazy. So half the dream I remember pretty darn well, and the other half I don't. So I actually made a Facebook post that I'm going to be reading to you guys because I made this Facebook post directly after waking up Wednesday morning. I posted it at 3:39 a.m. Because the dream was so vivid and so crazy and so full of energy that I couldn't go back to sleep. I laid there for probably about 30 minutes, so I probably woke up around 3:30, and I couldn't go back to sleep. I'm going to put on my glasses, so if you see glare on my glasses, I'm sorry, but I'm blind and, have to read. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. I said, just woke up from the strangest dream. So for whatever reason, Josh, my fiance, and I went to Dogwood Pass. Dogwood Pass is it's this couple down south started a replica village or a town, Western themed, in their backyard basically, and it's actually a pretty awesome place. But I've only been there once in my life. But that's where we were for whatever reason. But anyway, I said, Josh and I went to Dogwood Pass to ask about their schedules for events for Halloween, but it was in the middle of the night. I was talking to a guy about their schedule, and Josh was laying on the ground, face down, trying to sleep for whatever reason. It was really random. So this guy was telling me about the event schedule, and this older gentleman started walking towards us. The guy I was talking to told me I should hide my pentacle because he wasn't sure how the older guy would react, so I hid it in my shirt. The older guy asked if he could ride the motorcycle in the back of the truck Josh and I drove, which is weird because Josh and I don't have a truck. We don't have need for a truck right now. And neither of us ride motorcycles. So why we had a truck and or had this motorcycle in the bed of the truck is weird. So while all this is going down, we're actually standing behind the truck bed. And there's also a street lamp. I remember vividly there was a street lamp above us. So anyway, so the older guy asked if he could ride the motorcycle in the back of the truck Josh and I drove. I said, sure, it was my dad's, just don't wreck it. Wow, which is weird. So the old man drives off, and I made a note, not that I'd ever have dad's bike or let someone ride it. Like, I would never do that. So I start to talk to this guy again, and Josh gets up to talk too. We are standing under a streetlight, and all of a sudden I hear a loud screeching. And this is where the dream, like, I'm pretty sure this dream started out as something and then turned into something else. Something else kind of interrupted. So all of a sudden I hear a loud screeching, and a small barn owl flies past my face and lands under the truck hitch. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know by now, if you've watched my videos before, owls are my totem animal. But this owl was kind of weird. Like, it was a barn owl. I recognized that it was a her. B, I recognized she was a barn owl. C, this owl was not a normal barn owl. She was smaller, and the best way I can describe it is vibrating with energy. I can tell when my dreams are either trying to tell me something when they're being symbolic, or if they're gonna happen, because I've had prophetic dreams. I don't have prophetic dreams often, but I've had them before in my life, usually over something goofy. I usually can tell when they're trying to, when there's something there for me to decipher, because they're usually really high in energy. Like, the best way to describe it is almost vibrating with color. Like, it's almost like if you've ever watched That's So Raven, how her visions looked, and it sounds really tacky, but yeah, the colors on the edges of the screen that are all blurry and how bright they were, and you can almost feel the color, like you can feel the energy and what you're seeing and everything around you. It's very strange. Well, anyway, the owl flew in and looked this way. So she landed under the truck hitch. I asked Josh to grab his phone quickly to take a picture, and suddenly I feel her land. Like, I turned to tell Josh, like, hey, I was freaking out. I was like, hey, get your phone. I want a picture of this. Suddenly I felt her land on my shoulder blade behind my neck. Like, she was directly on the back of my neck, on my back. And I could feel, like, her feathers, like, kind of like smack my shoulder blades. And I said at first I was scared because I thought she was attacking me. Like, I was freaking out. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, is she gonna, peck me, bite me? What's going on? But when I put my hand under her feet, her talons, I basically like went like this and found her feet, because she was small. I found her feet and kind of like picked her up kind of like that and had her on my fingers. At first, she didn't stay there long. I said at first I was scared because I thought she was attacking me, but when I put my hand under her feet to stand her upright on my shoulder, she flew up and dropped a mouse at my feet. Like, I took her like this and tried to bring her around to set her up on my shoulder. She was on my finger for a split second. I was trying to get her straightened up, and she flew off. Well, she flew up, and then she dropped a mouse at my feet. I said, I noticed Josh was video recording, and I asked him if he had gotten all that. After I asked him that, she screeched really loud again, and again landed under the truck hitch. This time, I noticed another small barn owl like her was dead under the truck. Now, this barn owl, I remember this. I pretty much remember this. Okay, so I tried to get her straightened up on my shoulder, and like, she was fidgeting and she didn't sit right, so she flew up again. She flew out and around and then up above me, and then she dropped the mouse. So I was like, I had this feeling, like, you know how people were like, oh, well, when your cat brings you a mouse, it's like their gift to you. So I got all excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, you know? So I'm like hoping Josh is getting all this on his phone. And so she screeches again, and we look up, and she flies right back down to the truck hitch, under the truck hitch. But this time, under the truck hitch on its back is an owl, just like her, on its back, feathers a little bit ruffled, and dead. Now, this is the part in the dream where I'm like, where I take it, like, I kind of take a step back, and I'm like, whoa, okay, like, hold on here. Um, and she kind of like pecks at the dead owl. She's behind the dead owl, and she kind of like pecks at it and pulls at its feathers once, as if like making sure, like, hey, notice this, you know? And that's when I wake up. Yeah. Um, so I've been racking my brain as much as I could. I've looked in different, I've done everything but go on Google, and I'm going to have to search this up. But I also wanted to make a video for you guys because I know how interesting dreams can be, and I wanted to know if there are any dream interpreters that may watch this. If you have any theories about this dream, I would love to hear them. It's not very, I've had dreams about Owl before. Otherwise, what, you know, I mean, that's why she's my spirit totem. Um, Anytime I dream of an animal, I take special note of it, um, because I do relate closely to animals, and I've had, you know, coyotes been in my dream before. Owl is in my dreams every so often. Um, but this one was, I mean, this one, I mean, I can tell that this one was trying to tell me something. Like, I just feel like I need to get this. And so yeah, if anybody has any ideas, or you know, just wants to leave a comment um, about it, or any like resources you guys think I can look up, I did reread the section about owls in my Animal Speak book, um, just to see if I could get any ideas, but nothing really. I mean, there was owl symbolism there, but nothing really popped up. I actually was discussing this in my art class the other day, because we're doing a project on symbolism and allegory. And this other girl that's in there in my class, she has dreams sometimes too. And so every now and then, like if we have weird dreams, we'll share our dreams with each other. And I was telling the class, like, it's only like 4 of us in the class this day. Actually, there were only 3 of us that day, because some of the other classmates were gone. They were absent. But I was telling the class that day about my dream. The other day, it was Friday, I was telling them about my dream, and she like quickly Googled like what it meant, what, you know, it means to see a dead owl in your dreams. And she said, well, this says that if you see a dead owl in your dreams, it means, you know, the onset, you know, somebody's going to get sick, or there's going to be an illness, or a death in the family. And I was like, oh great, because you know, just the day before I had the dream about my mom, and it was terrible. And actually, Friday, after I got out of that class, I got a text message from my mom saying that, hey, I got my pain checked out. I was like, what pain? What are you talking about? You didn't tell me you had any pain. She said she had pain in her side, and she didn't tell me about, which is probably good, because I probably would have freaked out after having that dream Monday night. But she told me she got her pain checked out with her doctor friend, and they prescribed her muscle relaxers, because they think that it's just a pulled muscle, because she's an EMS. So, but anyway, if you guys have any idea about what this may mean or whatever, let me know. Now, I have been under a lot of stress lately with school and work, but this just didn't seem like a stress dream. The nightmare might have been a stress dream. I can easily accept that. But this dream, the energy in it, and the owl was just. I always, like I said, whenever owl or another animal comes into my dream, I always just take special note of it. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope everybody has a great week, and blessed be.